I gotta say, I always thought Stephen King was, well, just a horror guy.
Oh, yeah.
But then I read Different Seasons. Blew me away. Really.
It's something else.
Yeah, so today we're going to dive deep into this collection of novellas.
Okay.
See why it shows a whole other side of King. What did you think?
It's a real turning point for him, published back in '82.
Right.
Steps outside the horror, explores these deeper themes like hope, redemption.
Huh. Yeah, interesting.
Even coming-of-age stories in there.
Okay, so we've got 4 novellas, right?
Yep.
Each one's like a season, spring, summer, all that.
Yeah.
So it kicks off with Rita Hayworth and Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, that one.
I know, everyone loves the movie, but
Right.
what's different about the novella?
The novella, it's like you're right there in Andy Dufresne's head.
Oh, I see.
You see his plans, his hope, even with all the hardship.
Wow.
There's this one line. Andy says, hope is a good thing, maybe the best of things, and no good thing ever dies. That, to me, that's the whole story right there.
Wow, powerful stuff.
It's about how strong people can be, even in the worst places.
Yeah, it makes you think, where do we find that strength when all seems lost?
It's a question, isn't it?
Anyway, let's move on. We got to talk about Apt Pupil next.
Oh, yeah, that one's a bit darker.
A lot darker, right?
Yeah.
Summertime, and we get this kid fascinated with a Nazi war criminal.
Heavy stuff.
Super unsettling.
But King, he's brilliant with this, foreshadowing, builds this tension.
Oh, I see.
You know something's wrong from the very first page. Todd, the kid, and Dusander, the Nazi, their relationship, it's twisted.
It's scary to think about.
Makes you wonder how far innocence can go, how evil hides.
Yeah, tough questions.
Sure.
I can't even imagine being in that kid's shoes.
Yeah.
Finding out something like that makes you think about choices, morality.
Absolutely.
And then fall comes around, leaves are falling, we get The Body.
Ah, that's a classic.
It is, right?
That feeling of childhood friendships, so intense.
Yeah.
King captures that perfectly.
And it's not just about finding a dead body.
No, it's more than that.
It's their journey, these boys.
Exactly. Self-discovery, innocence lost.
Realizing that death is just part of life. It's something we can all relate to looking back.
Yeah, nostalgia, but also bittersweet,
It's amazing. It's such a simple idea. The quest turns into this exploration of, well, everything.
King does that so well.
And finally, winter, here comes the chill.
Oh, yeah.
The breathing method.
Yeah.
This one's different.
A little spooky.
Men's club, story within a story.
So much suspense. He unravels it slowly.
Keeps you guessing.
But it's really about what's real. What do we believe?
Whoa, that's deep.
And the ending. Haunting.
It sticks with you, for sure.
It does.
So, wow, what a journey, From strength and hope to darkness and evil, from growing up to facing the unknown. King covers it all.
It is a lot packed into these stories.
He's not afraid of the hard stuff.
Nope.
And he makes us think right alongside the characters. It's incredible.
And on the surface, such simple stories.
It's amazing how he does it. It makes me think about, the different seasons of our own lives.
Oh, that's interesting.
What would our stories be? The good times, the bad times, all of it.
That's the power of this book. It makes you reflect.
It does. That's the magic of different seasons.
For sure.
It's not just the stories themselves. It's what they make us think about,
Absolutely.
So if you're up for a challenge, a book that'll move you, stay with you, check out Different Seasons.
It's worth it.
You might be surprised what you learn about yourself along the way.
You never know.
That's the fun of it.
Exactly.
Well, that's all the time we have for this deep dive. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so get ready, because today we're going deep.
Ooh, deep dive.
Yeah, a deep dive into the Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone.
Classic.
Oh, it's such a classic. Yeah.
Right.
But we're not just talking about oh, that was a great movie.
Yeah.
We're going deeper.
Ah.
Looking at the film analysis of it.
Yeah, what makes this movie tick?
Exactly, yeah.
What makes it so powerful?
What makes it so good, yeah. So,
one of the things that I think is really cool about Shawshank is how it handles this theme of hope.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just a simple, keep your chin up kind of thing.
Right.
It really digs into, what hope means.
In the face of,
in the face of despair.
Yeah, total despair.
In the face of, pretty much, the worst situation you could imagine.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so that's what I think makes it so powerful.
So it really dives into that. Yeah, so, okay, so let's start with that. I mean, obviously the movie is...
It's all about hope.
About hope, yeah.
Yeah.
But how does it, like, really explore that theme?
Well, I think one of the best ways to see that is through looking at Red.
Okay, yeah, Red.
Right.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman, amazing.
That was so good, yeah.
But, like, at the beginning of the movie, he is just, like, the definition of cynicism.
He's given up.
Oh, he's given up completely.
Yeah.
I mean, that line, hope is a dangerous thing.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like, that's just, like, it's seared into our minds.
Like, he doesn't believe it at all.
He doesn't believe it.
Yeah.
It's almost like he's trying to protect himself.
Yeah, protect himself from
From
disappointment.
disappointment, yeah.
Right.
Because, like, what's the point of hoping when you're in this situation?
Yeah, when you're in prison, like, what's the point?
Exactly. And I think a lot of us
Can relate to that.
can relate to that feeling.
Yeah.
You know, when you're going through a tough time, you just kind of, like, shut down.
Right. So it's a defense mechanism.
It is a defense mechanism, totally.
Yeah.
And then you have Andy Dufresne,
Yeah.
who comes in.
Our protagonist, yeah.
Yeah, and he is like this beacon of hope.
Yeah, he's like a walking.
Quacking hope.
Yeah, yeah. And it's not like naive hope, though.
No, it's not naive.
It's like
it's this quiet determination.
Yeah, it's like an inner strength that he has.
Right. It's like he believes in something bigger.
Yeah, and that things can get better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's what starts to chip away at Red's cynicism.
So that's where the character development really kicks in.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it's not just about like, oh, Andy wants to escape, and that's the end of it.
It's about how he affects the people around him.
Yeah. And especially Red.
Yeah, he shows Red that even in the darkest of places,
Yeah.
there's still
Light.
yeah, possibility.
Possibility, yeah.
Like, remember that scene on the roof?
When he gets the beers.
He gets the beers for all the guys.
Oh, I love that scene.
It's such a great scene.
It's like a small victory, but it's so powerful.
And you see it on Red's face.
You see that little glimmer?
That little glimmer. Like something is shifting inside of him.
Yeah, it's like Andy is planting a seed.
He's planting a seed of hope.
Yeah.
And that seed grows throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, like slowly over time.
And by the end,
Red is transformed.
he's transformed.
Yeah, he chooses hope over despair.
He does.
He gets parole.
He gets parole, and he actually breaks his parole
He does.
to go find Andy.
Yeah, he takes that leap of faith.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the culmination of his transformation.
And he finds his own redemption.
He does.
He finds freedom.
Yeah, both literally and figuratively.
Exactly.
And I think that's such a powerful message for all of us.
It is. It's like hope isn't just this passive thing.
Yeah, you have to work for it.
You have to work for it.
You have to choose it.
You have to choose it every single day.
Yeah.
And even when things are really tough, you got to keep believing that something better is possible.
Yeah, you have to take action.
You got to take action. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so we talked about hope.
Let's talk about some of the symbolism in the film.
Oh, the symbolism is so rich in this movie.
Yeah. The source material that we read for this episode really focused on the Pacific Ocean.
Right.
What makes that such a powerful symbol?
Well, for Andy, it's not just a place.
No.
It's this idea.
Yeah.
It represents escape.
Freedom.
Freedom from everything that Shawshank represents.
Yeah, like washing away the past.
Washing away the past, the pain.
Starting fresh.
Starting fresh, yeah.
And it's interesting that it's the ocean.
It's so vast.
Right. Like this limitless expanse.
Limitless.
Yeah, like his possibilities are endless.
Exactly. It's like that image perfectly captures what he's striving for.
Yeah, and it's not just in the ending either.
No.
Like we see it throughout the whole film. Like the poster in his cell.
The poster.
And the rock hammer.
Oh, the rock hammer.
Like he's chipping away at his own prison walls.
It's like he's carrying that image of the Pacific with him.
Yeah.
Always reminding himself of what he's working towards.
Yeah, so it's like a constant source of motivation.
Totally.
Yeah. Okay, so we talked about hope symbolism. Now let's talk about the filmmaking itself.
Oh, the filmmaking in Shawshank is masterful.
It is. Yeah, it's so subtle, but so effective.
It is the director, Frank Darabont. He doesn't just tell us about hope.
He shows us.
He shows us, he makes us feel it.
Yeah.
You know, one of my favorite examples is the opera scene.
Oh my gosh, that scene is incredible.
It gives me chills every time.
Every time.
Like the way it's shot,
Yeah.
the camera slowly panning over the faces of the prisoners as they listen to the music.
And that music.
Oh my gosh, that music.
It's like they're transported.
They're transported to another world.
Yeah, it's like for a brief moment, they're free.
They're free.
The prison walls disappear.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
How powerful.
And the use of sound is crucial there too. That sudden silence.
Before the music.
Before the music starts.
And then that soaring soprano voice.
It just fills the space.
Yeah, it's like this explosion of beauty and emotion.
It emphasizes the power of art.
Yeah.
To break through even the toughest barriers.
Yeah, and I think that's something that we can all connect to.
Absolutely.
Like the power of music or art to lift us up.
To inspire us.
You give us hope.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about hope symbolism filmmaking.
Mm-hmm.
What does it all mean for us watching this film?
You know, I think The Shawshank Redemption is ultimately a story about freedom,
Yeah.
but not just physical freedom.
Right.
It's about freeing ourselves from the prisons that we create in our own minds.
So like our own personal Shawshank.
Exactly.
Like
about recognizing those walls that we build around ourselves.
Like our fear.
Our fears, our limiting beliefs.
The routines that trap us.
All of it, yeah.
Yeah. And finding a way to break free.
Just like Andy did.
Yeah.
Finding our own rock hammer.
Our own rock hammer.
To chip away at those walls.
Yeah. It's not easy.
No, it's not easy.
It takes time and perseverance.
But it's possible.
It is.
Andy reminds us that hope is not about waiting for something good to happen.
It's about making it happen.
Making it happen.
Yeah.
It's about taking control of our lives and shaping our own reality.
Creating our own freedom.
Creating our own freedom.
Yeah, finding our own Pacific Ocean.
Exactly.
So as you rewatch The Shawshank Redemption...
And you should definitely rewatch it.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Think about this.
What are the walls in your life?
What are your prisons?
And how can you use hope as a tool
like Andy did,
to carve your own path to freedom?
Powerful stuff.
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for joining me for this deep dive.
My pleasure.
It's been a great conversation.
Always is.
And until next time, keep chipping away at those walls.
Yeah, keep hoping.
And keep hoping.
We'll see you next time.